Imagine this. You wake up, check your phone, scroll past 30 faces, 5 arguments, a dozen curated lives, all before your feet even touch the ground. The day hasn't begun, but your mind is already flooded. Dopamine whispers, algorithms guide your hand, and before you know it, you're not living. You're reacting, consuming, responding to a world that never pauses. You feel tired, but not sure why. You've been entertained, but nothing lingers. And in the spaces where thought used to dwell, there's only static. The world has become noise, and noise has become home. This isn't a glitch in the system. This is the system. It doesn't thrive despite our distraction. It thrives because of it. The modern age no longer fears stupidity. It manufactures it, wraps it in virality, and rewards it with applause. Intelligence is no longer the currency. Performance is. Substance is replaced by sensation, wisdom by clever sound bites, and meaning by metrics. And we, caught in the rhythm of swipes and scrolls, forget what it means to be awake. Not just conscious, but deeply, dangerously awake. If you've ever felt that something vital is slipping through your fingers, not time, but depth, clarity, purpose, then this is for you. Not as an escape, but as a mirror. A quiet pause in a world that punishes silence. What follows is not a call to reject the modern world, but to remember yourself inside it. If any part of you still longs for what's real, stay. Let's think together before thought becomes obsolete. The glorification of stupidity in the modern world isn't an accident. It's a feature. A society constantly overstimulated cannot tolerate stillness. It fears reflection because reflection threatens the illusion. In this illusion, everything must be fast, visible, consumable. Thinking is inefficient. Silence is suspicious. Depth is a liability. And so, in the race to be seen, we stopped trying to understand. We began to mistake visibility for value and speed for wisdom. We began to elevate those who talk the most, not those who say something worth hearing. And in doing so, we created a culture that mistakes noise for signal, repetition for truth, and popularity for credibility. This culture feeds on our exhaustion. It doesn't want you rested, it wants you scrolling. It doesn't want you curious, it wants you reactive. It sells you simplicity because complexity asks questions, and questions slow everything down. We are told that attention spans are shrinking, that people can't sit with difficult thoughts. But the truth is more brutal. People are trained to avoid difficulty because difficulty demands presence, and presence is the enemy of consumption. So the system teaches us to prefer entertainment over education, affirmation over challenge, immediacy over integrity. It teaches us to avoid discomfort at all costs, even if that discomfort is the only path to truth. But stupidity in this context isn't a lack of intelligence, it's a disconnection from consequence. It's not about not knowing, it's about not caring to know. Not because people are lazy, but because caring in a world that profits from apathy is an act of rebellion. If you care too much, you suffer. If you know too much, you see what others ignore. And so it's easier to stay numb, to laugh along, to keep scrolling, to reward the loudest voices even if they have nothing to say. Because silence, real, confronting silence, demands that you meet yourself. And for many, that confrontation is unbearable. We glorify stupidity because it's easier than feeling lost. Because pretending to know is more comforting than admitting we don't. Because shallow things can be shared and liked and monetized. But deep things ask for something we're not sure we can give anymore. Attention, vulnerability, courage. And yet, without those things, what are we building? A world of empty words, hollow leaders, manufactured emotions? A culture where performance replaces principle? And all that matters is how something looks, not what it is. This isn't just about influencers or celebrities. It's about all of us, about how we choose to engage, about what we normalize and what we ignore. Every time we reward the spectacle over substance, we reinforce a system that erodes our capacity to think. Every time we settle for noise over nuance, we tell the world that depth doesn't matter. And eventually we forget that it ever did. The cost isn't just personal, it's civilizational. A society that cannot think critically is a society that cannot defend itself from manipulation. It cannot discern propaganda from truth, charm from character, threat from illusion. It becomes easy to govern, easy to deceive, easy to distract. It becomes a stage where the loudest actor wins, not the wisest voice. And when that happens, power flows not to those who earn it, but to those who perform it best. Politics becomes theater, ethics becomes branding, and justice becomes whatever trends. We tell ourselves it's harmless, a guilty pleasure, a temporary escape. But nothing is neutral. What we consume shapes us. The memes we laugh at, the content we share, the people we follow, they all become part of us. And slowly, imperceptibly, our standards shift. Our expectations shrink. Our language deteriorates. We stop asking real questions. We stop demanding real answers. We lose the ability to be surprised by truth because we no longer seek it. But the truth doesn't vanish. It waits. Beneath the noise, beneath the algorithms, beneath the endless cycle of dopamine hits and distractions, it waits. In the moment we choose to stop, really stop, it's there. Not in viral trends or motivational slogans, but in quiet questions. Who are you when no one is watching? What do you know that no one taught you? What do you want that cannot be bought? These are not profitable questions. They don't sell products. They don't drive traffic, but they build something infinitely more valuable. A mind that cannot be bought and a soul that cannot be silenced. In a world that rewards compliance, awareness is resistance. In a world that trades in spectacle, authenticity is subversion. And in a world that glorifies stupidity, the simple act of thinking deeply, painfully, patiently becomes revolutionary. You don't need to change the world. You just need to stay awake inside it, to keep a piece of yourself untouched by the noise, to protect your curiosity like it's sacred, because it is, and because the world doesn't need more content. It needs more consciousness. More people who are willing to pause, to reflect, to ask why. People who choose substance when spectacle is easier. Who say no when the crowd chants yes. Who carry the burden of thought even when it's heavy. This isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. But neither is living in a world that demands your attention while stealing your ability to focus. Neither is waking up one day and realizing that your mind has been shaped by people who never cared for your freedom. So choose carefully. Choose slowly. Choose what feeds you, not just what entertains you. Because in the end, we become what we allow in. And if we do not guard the gates of our attention, someone else will. Not to protect us, but to profit from our blindness. To keep us numb, distracted, obedient. That is the true danger. Not stupidity as a trait, but stupidity as a tool. Wielded to control, to pacify, to erode the radical, beautiful force of thought. So pause, breathe, ask the hard questions, seek the slow truths, and above all, protect your mind. It's not just where you think, it's where you live.